Game started.
Oh, Jinx 836 from the US. C4. Well, let's try Symmetrical English. He plays E4. That's not going to be in English. What is that? Well, I'll continue with the symmetry strategy. I guess if I had developed a knight, then it would be like a Sicilian, where he hadn't played E4. Okay, let's just develop some pieces. Let's see. So this is going to be a square where I want to put my knight. Yeah. So let's get it there right away. Not why waste time. Okay, I don't know if that matters which way I captured there. I like to keep the pawns towards the king here in case there's some useful breaks on the king's side. This pawn, by keeping his e-pawn blockaded, I'm stopping his e-pawn from breaking this way. Let's just castle here and see if he wants to take my bishop instead of my knight. He doesn't. It's a good piece, right? He's just going to enjoy that piece. And I don't want to trade my good bishop for that knight. Although that is a strategy. Bishop here, bishop takes. And then he would have no knights, and he would have... well, let's think about this. This might be interesting.
Check.
Okay, then he goes and takes the knight. Okay. So I have the doubled pawns, and he doesn't. And he wants to trade off my good bishop. Very logical strategy. And there's no way to avoid the trade. Okay, so let's retreat the bishop so I can push the f-pawn. I'm going to ignore the queenside demonstration here for a little bit. And the idea with pushing these pawns is to give my bishop a little more space. And if he takes, he didn't have to take. He could have played, for example, f3 there. But when he does take, then that gives me a little something to play for. Like now, I could consider e5, or d5, but he would just take it. How about if I drop the queen back to this square? Put my bishop back on f6. Ah, he's going to go there with this queen, maybe. He's hitting this pawn. Okay, let's promote my pawn. So he can come in here now to this square. And maybe rook here, rook here. I guess that's not working. I want to get the bishop off of this file here so that I can protect the b7 square where his queen might try and penetrate. Now my idea is to play, with some preparation, to play e5, which he can't stop easily. He cannot easily stop because he doesn't have a light squared bishop. He only has a dark squared one. And now let's take with the rooks in order to keep the queens on. Now maybe rook to c3 is an idea, putting pressure on this light squared pawn here. And there's also this pawn, yeah, which is a bit weak. And there's the idea of pushing e4. And have to be careful I don't put too many pieces on dark squares or his bishop can skewer them. So his queen comes in there, pinning my knight, my rook, pinning my rook. Still, it's not that much of a pin. And now there are no more bad bishop. A bad bishop is no longer a bad bishop. And instead what I have is a passed pawn. But if I do that, here, I'm going to retreat the rook where it's defended by the bishop, and then if he wants to trade queens, I will let him. He chooses not to. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to maneuver my other rook around. I guess I can't get to that square. I want to go to... what did I say about putting my pieces on dark squares? I want to get my rook to c3 here. And now the question is, should I play rook c3 anyway? Give up the exchange and get this nice passed pawn. So rook c3, bishop takes, pawn takes, hitting the queen. Queen drops back to c2. Doesn't seem to be a big deal. Let's try something different. Thinking queen to b4 there, hitting his pawn. So that hits his bishop and his pawn. So he gives up the pawn. He can probably get it back. Well, not right away. Once again, going after those pieces on dark squares, it's always a danger. Okay, but now I can maybe make progress with my pawn. Okay, he may be threatening to penetrate to the 7th rank again. Oh, he left his b pawn undefended. Let's take that for starters.
Check.
Okay, yeah, there is a check there. And the bishop can go there. Let's retreat the rook and hit the queen. Everything's protected. The bishop's protecting the rook. Queen's protecting the rook. My queen is not protected. Then I'm going to push that pawn one more step further, just before his queen gets in front of it. And maybe even think of trading queens here. And rooks are on light squares once again. I really have an advantage with these pawns too. I should start using them. Let's march them together. And this is interesting. So one more step is a step too far, but I can do this. I can come up beside the pawn. I do have to be careful on my back rank, don't I? Okay, well, if he just wants to trade off the bishop, that's probably good for me. Okay, so we're close to that point where I can just win. And see, if I push here, he does have rooks on yeah, I guess I need to defend this once more. Okay, so he's hitting a rook. I was thinking he was going to go in front of the pawn and hit this rook. But I have the check. I guess that would work. Okay, so I can push a pawn. And that's not good enough. I need to save this pawn. It's just a little bit tricky here. Okay. Somewhere here I should be winning. That's what it is. I will place my rook here and push the a pawn. So rook b3, pawn to a2. Or I could just queen immediately if he does that. So this is not anything to be feared, right? Still, I should save my pawns. I should save them.
Check. Check.
And now it should be mate pretty quickly.
Check.
So I don't have to worry about my back rank if I checkmate him before his rook gets free.
Check. Checkmate.
Okay. Well, I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.